So the business leads the way in local SEO. The brand gives amazing free tools you just can't live without. It annually produces one of the most important reports for local SEO users. It's trusted by over 150,000 users, including Marriott Hotels, Staples, Expedia, and Autotrader. So today we're talking to the founder of the awesome Whitespark, Darren Shaw. So welcome, Darren.
Hey, thanks a lot, Zane. Great to finally meet you. Great to be on your show, I guess. You're going to put this on YouTube, I assume?
That's it, absolutely. So can we start with a quick round that I call getting to know Darren?
Right.
So one word answers then. Geotagging, yes or no?
Hard no.
Do you ever leave Google reviews, yes or no?
Yeah, a lot less than I used to, but yes.
Should businesses use only one category on their Google business profile, yes or no?
You should definitely set the primary to be the best one, but then add additional categories. That wasn't a yes/no, sorry.
How many coffees do you drink a day?
I used to drink 4, but now I've brought it back down to 2. They're pretty big though. It's like a whole big gulp size coffee.
Have you ever been to the UK?
Yes, multiple times, yeah.
Do you have your fancy socks on I hear about today?
Normally I would, but it is really hot and it's 30 degrees in Edmonton today, so I've gone barefoot. There's my foot. Keeps me a little cool in my office.
And what would you say is the best paid for tool that you offer?
Best paid for tool that we offer? Local Rank Tracker. It's friggin' awesome. It's an awesome software. If you're looking for a rank tracking software, that's the best. It's so good.
Awesome. So let's get a bit deeper now. Some questions here. So you produce a brilliant report that in effect reverse engineers the local ranking factors in Google.
Well, it's supposed to be every year, but then I'm always behind on getting the thing out to the participants and then crunching the data. It's kind of running on like a 1.5 year type cycle. I'm going to really try to keep it to 2024 next year. My goal is to get it to the participants roughly in the fall so they can do the survey and I have time to analyze it and then publish it like January 2nd. That's like, I just want to have it come out right at the beginning of the year.
So from your experience, how close do you think it is to being 100% close to the algorithm?
70%, just as a random number. We're all speculating, right? So as we do local SEO, Google doesn't tell us the algorithm. So we try things, we see what seems to have an impact on rankings. We see what has more of an impact, what has a smaller impact, what seems to have no impact. Back to geotagging. So these, it's all based off of what is working in the field plus SEO testing. So you test things and see if it actually has an impact.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the thing is, we start off with 0%, so 70% is pretty good going.
Yeah, I don't know. I might give it a higher value than it is, but it's the best that we have. So it's like Google didn't give it to us. So when you get the top 40 to 50 local search experts contributing and you aggregate all that data, it's the best insight we have into what drives local search ranking.
So what are your thoughts on Fiverr, where people can purchase hundreds of reviews or reinstate suspended accounts for just a few dollars?
Yeah, that's about the most garbage SEO you can get. So that's what I think about it. I think that you will get what you pay for and potentially cause more harm than good. So I would advise people to not go the cheapest route that you can. I would advise people to hire a professional.
Yeah, I think I saw one of your videos when you had like thousands of pins, and after 3 months it made no difference whatsoever.
That's a classic, yeah. You can buy this thing on Fiverr where it's like you get these map citations, Google My Map citations, and so they build these weird grids, and I was like, that's not even a thing. That's definitely not a thing. And so I tested it, and of course, no ranking impact, right?
What's the most common question you get asked about at the moment?
I'm a service area business. How can I rank in every single suburb around my city? That's probably the #1 local search question.
Do you think Google could improve the way they communicate with the suspended businesses, maybe offering a clue as to why the business is suspended?
Oh, it would be a dream if they did. I definitely think they could, and I definitely think that they should. They are extremely fearful of raising the curtain of their algorithm. That's why they don't tell you. So they're like, your listing has been suspended. Please follow our guidelines. Here's our page. And you're like, okay, well, why? Why was it suspended? And that's the frustrating thing that everyone on the Google Business Profile forums, and if you look at the Google Business Profile forums, I think Mike Blumenthal, he's been studying like what is the percentage of questions. It's like 20%. The highest percentage is suspensions. That is a big, big issue. And so, yeah, there's no insight. You just have to figure it out, like what could be wrong. But actually, you do have the benefit. If your business has been suspended, if your profile's been suspended, the Google product experts that are answering questions on the forum, they're very helpful. They will help you. They want to see your data and they'll be like, I see it. Okay, it's because you have your hours set to 24 hours. Like, there's no way that you're actually answering the phone 24 hours. Google doesn't like that. Or they can see, I can see that your address is at the same address as a virtual office, and that's one of the other things. So they'll identify it and then help guide you, and then they can guide you through the reinstatement process. And so, yes, it'd be great if Google would show you this. I wish that they would. In the interim, you can definitely get help on the Google Business Profile Forum. And I know this because just this week I started becoming one of those Google Business Profile product experts. So I've signed up for the program, and I got to get in there every day answering questions. But it's a great learning opportunity.
How important do you think the EEAT is, and how do you think that's going to perhaps affect things going forward? Of course, that acronym: experience, expertise, authoritiveness, and trustworthiness.
Yes, and I think it's a great time to invest in it because it can be a competitive advantage. If you look at most small business blogs, most small business websites, you don't see the author, you don't see the person behind that, and you often don't see them talking about their own experience, their own expertise, what makes them the best plumber in, Manchester. All these things, like, when you do take that time to put that on your page, you talk about your credentials, you really anchor every page of content to an expert, to an author. That is a competitive advantage because most of your competition's not doing it. And it becomes even more important with the dawn of AI generated content. AI content can't do that. Google is trying to sort out, and they're going to have this huge problem where the web is being flooded with regurgitated content, all same. It all looks the same because it's all coming from the same source. And the AI source can only say things in so many different ways. So the way that you differentiate is going to be really tied to the EEAT signals, and you send those by being original, being authoritative, talking about your expertise. So I actually think that there's no better time to start thinking about that and integrating it into your local SEO strategy. Very important.
So out of all the information you've gained from this local search factors in the year's reports, what surprised you most?
Yeah, there's one that I always like to talk about, and that is factor number 10 on the previous edition was spam fighting, basically. Let me just look up exactly what it's called. The factor is removal of spam listings through spam fighting. So this is a ranking factor, and the concept here is that if you have someone ranking above you and they have keywords in their business name, they're spamming it, or they have fake reviews or whatever, and you report them and you get them taken off, you get them suspended, or you get the keywords out of their name, then that makes you move up. So it's really effective if you can do it. It's like, oh, I can move up 1-2 positions if we got spammers ahead of me, right? So it's a very powerful factor. And so we saw a move from position number 10 to position number 5. And so that's like, oh, wow, it's even more important than it was last year. I find that surprising because we track this carefully. We do spam fighting for all of our hundreds of clients, and we are not seeing it any more effective now than it ever was. Google does a terrible job of policing this. They also do a terrible job of enforcing it. Like, even when we have to beg them to suspend the people that are breaking the rules. So it's hard to. I know it tells a very different story than what you see on the forum, but it's actually hard to get spammy profiles removed. So it was surprising, and I think it's really more of a reflection of a change I made to the way that the participants do the survey. Last year, it was you pick your top 20 factors and then sort them in importance. This year, you score every factor. And this one got scored highly understandably, because it is very effective when you can get it to work. But the part that's missing this year is the when you get it to work part. So it is a very powerful factor, but it's not more effective than it was. So I think it's helpful to point that out. And so to not put too much value in spam fighting. It's a game that you don't love to play because it's a lot of work. You got to you take the keywords out of the business name, and then the business owner puts them back the next day, and then you take them out again. You're just playing whack-a-mole nonstop.
What's the biggest mistakes you find local business owners or profile owners make on their local search?
The biggest mistake that they make on local search, I would say, only thinking about rankings and not thinking about conversions. Your Google business profile, there's only a handful of places on the profile itself that impact rank directly. So we know that that's your primary category, it's keywords in the business name, it's your additional categories, and now services, that's kind of a new one. So services have a really positive impact on ranking as well. Attributes a little bit, and so those are really the only areas of your Google business profile that impact ranking. And so a lot of people say, okay, well, if these are the only ones that do it, I'm going to touch on the other stuff. I'm not going to bother doing the product section. I'm not going to fill out my Q&A. I'm not going to do Google posts. And I'm not going to add photos and videos. That's a huge miss in my mind, because ranking is only part of the equation. You want to convince a person to pick up the phone and call your business. That's even better than ranking, right? You want to get the calls, you want to get the leads. And so leaving their profile empty, thinking of it as a once and done thing where, oh yeah, I set up my Google business profile. But your Google business profile has massive conversion opportunity if you manage it. And, you know, another big mistake that they make is they think that the product section can only be for a physical product. Let's say you're a service area business, or you're a lawyer, you're a plumber, you're furnace repair, whatever it is. You can actually use that product section. It has beautiful visibility to highlight your specific services. It's a wonderful area to fill out. Leaving the Q&A empty, that's a big miss. Take all your frequently asked questions and put them in there so that you can preemptively answer people's questions, which can help drive more conversion. So really thinking about your Google business profile from a conversion perspective is a mindset shift that is very helpful. And I do think that's probably the biggest mistake that people make when they think about local SEO.
How do you think Google Maps or business or search will evolve over the next 10 years?
Yeah, I'm going to have a hard time with even the next year, because things are accelerating at a ridiculous pace with AI. And things are going to change fast. And so I think that we're going to see a much bigger emphasis, as we talked about earlier, around EEAT stuff, video being more important, images being more important, validation, trustworthiness, because trust is dying because of AI content. Reviews, almost like they're getting spammed to heck, and it's really easy to identify fake review, or it's really easy to pump those fake reviews. You can't even tell that they're fake, right? So if you can't tell anymore, then consumer trust drops in the value of reviews. So how do you combat that? Photos, like upload a photo with your review, upload a video with your review. Then we know it's real. That's a real human using my product, or that went to my business and got our service. So those things really have a high impact, and I think those are going to be important. But in terms of the actual local search, like the way people discover businesses, I do think we're going to see a change to that. And you can see hints of it already with the way the Bing search works. So if I go to Bing search with their AI chat stuff, I could say, find me a plumber in Manchester. And so then Bing will give you 5 plumbers with a little bit of detail. But I think with the AI search and AI SEO, we're really shifting to a one answer. It's like, you don't really want to, if I type in, how old is King Charles? Then I want the one answer. I don't want to have to now dig through a bunch of sites trying to find it. Like, I'm looking for one answer. And so the one answer world expands to like almost anything. Like, you can ask and ChatGPT will give you one answer, and it's usually pretty right. And so for traditional SEO, that's damaging, because now they don't need to go to your website. In local SEO, I actually think most people don't want the one answer. If you're looking for a plumber, you don't want to be like, here's one. You'd be like, well, how many reviews do they have? What services do they offer? You need to know that. Can I see some photos and videos of them? So this is where the local results actually are more insulated, and local SEO is insulated as an industry because people want to be able to explore. They want to look at 5, 10, 20 plumbers before they make their decision about which one they're going to call. And so I actually think local SEO, you're going to see a chat-based search, but you will get multiple options, and definitely you'll get the option to dig in further where you click the button, and then now you're kind of getting the same local SEO experience that you have now, where you're seeing the multiple listings and all the information about them. That's my crystal ball for at least the near future. I'm not going past a year though. We'll see what happens in a year, 2 years.
Whitespark. Why did you choose the name Whitespark? What does
Oh,
it mean?
well, probably the same way that most businesses try to get a business name these days is they go to Namecheap or GoDaddy and they just type domains until they find one that works. So I actually so the idea was the word spark. And so in the earliest days in 2005, my business concept, we were a web development agency. So we made websites for local businesses. And so we built our business on that. But as you know, starting out as a web development company, the word spark was like, we're going to spark your business. We're going to spark excitement, and we're going to, light everything up for you. That was the idea of spark. So I really wanted to use spark in the name. And then I just tried a whole bunch of things like Blue Spark and, Webspark, all these different types of names, but they were not available. And then I happened upon Whitespark, and White worked for me because I had this real minimalist design aesthetic with my website design that I was doing on a freelance basis. So Whitespark, minimalist spark, that's where I came from. And so I ended up finding Whitespark, and it worked, and I got whitespark.ca, and that was my domain.
If any business owners want to find out more about your tools and services, where can they go? And are there any special things or any perhaps tools in the pipeline?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a number of different things. So we have 3 primary software products. We have an excellent local rank tracking software. We have a software called the Local Citation Finder, which looks at your citations plus your competitors and shows you the ones that you're missing. We have Reputation Builder, which helps you get more reviews, respond to reviews, monitor, get alerts, plus embed the reviews on your website and your socials. So we have that software. And then on the services side, we have our listing service, which is used by a lot of businesses, agencies, enterprises. They order citation building from us, so citation building and citation cleanup. So that's a big part of our business as well. And we have a full service SEO agency as well, which is our SEO services, where we have 3 levels of package. One where we just manage only your Google business profile. We do all that stuff I was talking about with conversions. Then we also will do your website as well. So your Google business profile plus your website optimization for extra rankings. And then 3rd level is we'll do some link building as well. So we have a full SEO agency. And in the pipeline is our very exciting, cannot wait to launch, I was just using it yesterday, is our Google Business Profile Management software. And so this software, the big feature that we're launching right out of the gates is updates management. Google keeps changing your info on your Google Business Profile, and sometimes they don't even tell you about it. It's so annoying. It's like we've had clients where their primary category was changed, rankings fell off, and so we had to go back in and change it. So we've built this system that connects with your Google Business Profile, sends you an alert as soon as anything changes on it, and then you get a nice interface for accepting and rejecting. This is great at the single location level, just to be like, nope, not today, Google. You just reject it, send it right back. And it's a really nice interface for that. But it's also incredibly valuable for agencies. Like if you got your 50 clients in there, it's wonderful. Just have everything in one feed. Just be like, nope, reject all. We have a reject all button. And then at the multi-location level, it's a dream because you have some businesses where Google just keeps updating the hours, or they change your website URL. If you do that across like 100, 200 locations, it's a nightmare. And so our system gives you one interface for managing all of that. Plus, you can make changes and push them all to Google in bulk. And so it's just one place for managing your Google Business Profile. So phase 1 is launching that. Then phase 2 is Google Post Management, where you can create and schedule posts. Phase 3, review management of just your Google reviews in there with responding and templates and all that kind of stuff. So we're building out that full Google Business Profile software. It's awesome.
Well, thank you, Darren. That's been fantastic. We really enjoyed what you've shared with us. We appreciate your time. Now, that was amazing information from Darren. And if you want to know how you can access that list and use it on your business to gain rankings for your local business, then you need to watch this video that will show you where you can get the list and how it can work for your video today. So I'll see you on this next video.